Hi everyone, this is Ari Kopel with Shattering the Matrix. Wanted to speak with you today about ascended masters and beings that represent the highest light, the highest truth of Prime Creator, that are in service to this light and to the original blueprint of Prime Creator, the one that apparently got hijacked, where we are all now compromised. These beings of light that are here in our midst, whether we see them or not, to make sure that the divine plan is brought forth again back to this planet, and that we are all liberated from this. So I wanted to discuss this with you all because there's a lot of information in the world of the internet and different forums and whatnot that has totally been infiltrated by, obviously the forces that do not wish us to reach that point of liberation. And, of course, we all know, because we've already kind of come to that conclusion on our own, that there's a lot of information that's been infiltrated by these dark forces that are spreading on purpose this information to keep us, looking down a certain path, following that path, with a little carrot, of course, always attached to it so we can, keep following it. And it just prevents us from really even having a desire to search the truth, because they've even put the fact that the truth is corrupt. That's part of the disinformation campaign, so that when you even want to look for the truth, they have already put a set of the program. It's got like bugs in it so that you don't even have a desire to look for the truth, because the truth in itself, when you think about that truth that you might look for as a possibility to contemplate, as a possibility to have as part of your awareness and understanding and bringing that forth into your core, those truths are presented in such a way and marketed in such a way to make it look as if it's bad, as if it's part of the fallen plan. So I feel that it's time to explore with you the possibility of this other perspective, or the perspective that the ascended beings, the beings of light, the archangels, the ETs that are of much higher density, much higher vibrational frequencies that serve Prime Creator, those beings that we look at them now for what they are intrinsically, not by what others are discussing in forums, others that claim themselves to be leaders of certain knowledge, of certain belief systems. Those people that a lot of us are following, unfortunately, because we're not finding the truth on our own from within. We're going outwardly. We're going to blogs and YouTube videos and people to get our truths, to formulate our belief system. And it's not even a knowing. It's a belief system. And as things change, as things change, even if the truth were to be presented in front of us, a lot of us are not even seeing it because we're looking at it through such jaded lenses that we won't even recognize it when it comes in front of us as truth. We become jaded when we measure the world that we live in and the way things are supposed to, the outcome, okay, how it's supposed to look, how the transformation is supposed to look when we measure that based on 3D experiences. And that's all we have right now that we can remember. A lot of us are still extremely veiled. We do not have our true, all our gifts and our mastery totally developed in us. We don't remember fully who we truly are and everything that we have. Or we're not stepping into our divine authority at all. We still are buying into a lot of our 3D experiences, and so therefore we are totally measuring our experiences and potential experiences based on our 3D. All right. So if, and again, I bring forth, if a true master of light were to, it just happens to be standing in front of you or anything like that, we won't recognize it as such. If a truth is brought into a discussion, that is not being seen. As a matter of fact, the sinister forces have such a way of obviously disguising it to look like it's sinister, as if it's dark, on purpose. All right, so that to keep you from actually seeing it. So these are the games that are being played right now because the sinister forces are extremely angry. They are probably scurrying around, finding any way to create havoc, not only in the world, but individually, to cause more separation, to cause fear, to cause angst, to cause hurt, to cause depression, and all the negative emotions that can be elicited from anyone. They're here to do that. And if you just take the time to think about in your life, if you have experienced separation from or breaking even of relationships, whether it's friendships, whether it's family members, all types of altercations, all types of conflict, in terms of relationships, take a look at that and see if you've experienced that, because that's really interesting. I've noticed that not only in my life personally, I've noticed that in some of my really close friends that I've been sharing information with that have also experienced this, like in the same time span. So it's either the energies are coming in and they're a little bit, they're very strong, they're coming in strongly, and so the sinister forces are really like saying, well, this is our last chance, let's go ahead and go out with a bang, guys, and they're going and just messing with people that truly are light workers, light warriors that are here to hold and anchor the light on this planet. They're really messing with us right now. Creating all kinds of different perceptions, skewed belief systems, personality conflicts, ego, sensitivities, and so it's major. But it's not something that should shock us, because we kind of should know that this is the way it usually goes down in a world that is in the process of transformation. It's in the process of an ascension, and as a consequence, those beings of light that are here are also experiencing that. And it's also a way to keep that light that we carry from shining its brightest. The sinister forces do not want that. And so they attack us from within. Notice that we're not really being affected by the exterior world, which is horrible to begin with. You know how humanity has degraded itself to the point of, killing one another and creating such atrocities that we hear about, even in the alternative media. But we're doing it to ourselves. The light workers are doing it to ourselves, within ourselves. And that is pretty horrible, considering that we're allowing that to happen, knowing all that we know, knowing that sinister forces are out in the out and about, and we're allowing this to flourish. We're participating in it by, being part of the drama, carrying forth the drama, not knowing that we're being influenced by such things, and not even wanting to reconcile or reach a heart-to-heart connection with another person that you might have a disagreement with. So those are pretty much the indications of where things are going. I strongly believe it's going to get probably a little worse before it gets better. And so I'm bringing this up so that we can all recognize it when it happens, so that we don't fall for this trap, and that we're not participating in it and further perpetuating such negativity and such discord in our lives and in the lives of others. Because if we allow it in our lives, we want to be in a state of discord and not in alignment with the light and the higher vibrations and stay in our core. That's one thing. And then you engage someone else in it and bring it into the drama as well. Then you're bringing that person's vibration down as well. And so therefore we are consequently participating in bringing the vibration of those that are supposed to be of the highest vibration to hold and anchor the light that needs to be here at this moment, specifically during these times. So please be aware and don't fall for this. Stay in your core. Don't go back and forth with hearsay and gossip and things like that to continuously fuel the flame of discord, negativity, and all the lower vibrational things that will keep us in place, and they want nothing more than that. And they're very happy that we're participating in that, and that they're conquering and dividing us this way. Ascended Masters, folks, are real. A lot of people are, again, of the supposedly enlightened community, and I'm going to call those that really, a lot of people call themselves of the light community or the spiritual community, and in reality they're just people that sympathize with certain knowledge, certain information, but they're incapable of walking the walk. All right, they'll talk the talk, but they won't walk it, and they will not allow to embrace the actual concepts of the higher realms. And the higher realms, and here's where we're talking about where the disinformation, how everything is put into one category. Okay, everything is put into one category. So, for example, they'll have something like they'll state something like that the Ascended Masters. They're all part of the fallen of this matrix. It's part of the polarity. So the Ascended Masters represent the light forces, which is one side of the polarity, and then let's say Satan and all its minions represent the other side of the polarity. So that's your polarity, and then but we're all part of the fallen group. It's part of the matrix. It's part of keeping us here. It's part of the concept that we will go to the Ascended Masters to get us out of this situation here, that they are a lot of us are seeking them out because they're our saviors, that they will just give us also disinformation to keep us here, but it's all part of the same team. It's all part of the same corporation, except it's just a different department. So that can't be further from the truth, honestly. It's all part, really, of the disinformation campaign, of the consciousness, the fallen consciousness that, yes, does govern this planet and governs this world, this solar system, this galaxy, whatever. It is part of that fallen construct to even bring that forth. And they want nothing more than for all of us to believe that, because it's in their best interest. All right. In reality, the Ascended Masters are not in polarity. The Ascended Masters have reached a state of consciousness that permits them to be freed from the mind, to be in total equanimity. So that causes their liberation from the matrix itself. And they are not in polarity. The ones that are in polarity are us. We are the ones that are bringing forth all these notions that puts us in one side of the fence or the other. The ascended masters are not affected by the way we think about them. They are intrinsically ascended. They are intrinsically free. They don't need us to worship them. They don't require us to worship them. They are not our saviors. They have never claimed to be our saviors. If any of us are gravitating towards ascended master information, or certain specific ascended masters, specifically those that have made themselves, at least we've made them popular. It's not that they've made themselves popular because they're marketing themselves in some kind of billboard or something. Is that we've, maybe some of them have worked with us more than other ones have, and they've become known to us, or we could recognize them readily. But it's not like they're marketing themselves to become popular because they're going to be, running for some kind of campaign. They're running for mayor or anything like that. So my point is that we're the ones that are gravitating towards them and incorrectly going after them perhaps as a means to get us out of this hellhole that we're in right now. So we're maybe, when we meditate or when we pray, we might, pray to Jesus. We might pray to Mary if that's our, who we're feeling close to. We might bring in Saint Germain and think about Saint Germain as a way for Saint Germain to get us out of here. That could be the reality of some people. All right, that's what they're doing. But most people that are knowledgeable about the Ascended Masters don't do that. A lot of us who have had experiences with Ascended Masters call them in a meditation so that their vibration can help us and assist us with getting our vibration higher. They are beings that, again, have reached a point in attainment, in their spiritual attainment, where they have freed themselves from this nonsense, from this matrix, from this corrupt software that has been imposed over this planet. They have found the key to do that. And the reason that many of us will bring in an ascended master or call on an ascended master would be so that we can emulate them, so that we can learn from whatever it is that they did to be able to get themselves out. They are not claiming that they will walk you out, but they will assist in whatever is necessary, whether it's guiding us. Hey, look at this. Look at it from this perspective, and I've been getting a lot of that recently because I've been asking for help. A lot of guidance and a lot of healing that gets done over those that ask for it, because sometimes we can't do it on our own, because when we are in the mess, when we're swimming in the mud, we don't know. Sometimes we don't know which way is up, which way is down, and we certainly don't want to go swimming or we're sinking in an ocean and we're so deep into it, we don't know that if we continue a certain way, if we're going to go hit the bottom or if we're actually going to surface and get some air. So that guidance from beings that see it from a totally different perspective is crucial and extremely necessary. And if we have the ability to connect with them, then that's a good thing. It's not that we're asking them to step in and do the homework for us so that we can graduate from our college courses with a degree. It's having them say, okay, what should I study first? Which chapters do you recommend? What highlights should I be looking at? What sentence should I concentrate on? That type of guidance. It's not that they're going to be sitting down and taking the test for you. So that, to me, it's like, seeing it from that perspective, to me, is important because what the dark forces are doing is, creating a new. They've created a new set of understandings now. For before, it became the New Age as an answer to formalized religion. So we have the New Age that breaks out of religion, the traditional religion, and then the dark forces realize that too many of us have gotten savvy about what they were up to with the New Age, because of course they bring in truisms that resonate with our being, because we're beings of love and beings of that come from a higher realm more than likely. And we have a lot of memories that are surfacing as our veils start coming, are being peeled away. So that when they bring in these truisms, we totally gravitate towards that. So the New Age movement was very clever movement. But they know that we're on to them. They know that. So now they've surfaced something else called the Truther movement. And the Truther movement is great because we want to know the truth, regardless of what it is. But they're so clever that they've put everything in there. They put everything in that basket. Everything is now game. Everything is now, we're gonna take apart everything, and everything is really disinformation. Now everything is disinformation, and that includes ascended master information. Whether it's people that are having experiences with ascended masters or archangels or benign, benevolent ETs, everything goes into that basket of being bad. That it's now all fallen, because now we've gone from the New Age, where everything is love and light and love, to the other movement that everything is reptilian, everything is bad, everything is my lab, everybody's been abducted, everybody's been tortured, everybody's been, compromised this way. And that is, not true. Have we all been implanted? I think so, because we are all on the planet. We're experiencing something that is totally heavily, encapsulated via this thing called the matrix, via this software that has been put, via these beings that are, currently in dominance. But not everyone has had a MyLab experience. Not everyone has been abducted by reptilians. Not everything is that. And to put everything, in that same category, that it's very convenient. And a lot of people are falling for that. They are, because they're disgusted with traditional religion. They're now disgusted with New Age because they know that they've been lied to. They're disgusted with channelings because none of that stuff has come to pass. So obviously that was compromised. And so what's the next level? Oh, here's the answer. The Truther movement. Oh, so we're going to get back. We're going to get to the bottom of this. And so what they create is more disinformation based on the fact that we're all disgusted and we're all jaded. And they're taking that and they're taking that ball and running with it, because we're all falling for that too, because we're always looking for what? For answers. We're looking for answers because the world doesn't make sense. It's not getting better. And instead of going to get the answers within ourselves, connecting directly with Source, with Prime Creator, with those that serve the true light, we're going to get the information from venues like, websites and YouTube and other forums and chat groups and things like that, and people that claim themselves to have, powers that heal and powers that, things that they teach. And because they're getting information from entities that are, they've got the know, they've got the information. They're entities that are, serving the truth. They're serving the light. And these, indeed, they're claiming to be, they sound good and they claim to have all this knowledge, but in reality, when it comes time to perform, none of the things that are being disclosed or divulged are true. So it's just convenient to put everything else in there because we're jaded. So again, it's a self-fulfilling. It's almost like a machine that they've created that it kind of serves itself and fuels itself. So it's in a positive feedback loop where there's no way of getting out of it. And the only way really jumping out of it is really to step out of this whole paradigm altogether, take a look at things from a much higher perspective, as if you were a creator God yourself. If you were a creator God yourself, then wouldn't it make sense for anything that would have gone awry in that creation, in that experiment that you created, and you really need to, obviously, as a creator God or creator being, which we all are in our own way, to anticipate that if things go wrong, how would they go wrong? And what would take place for it to go wrong, and what would be the next step, and the next step, and the next move of this thing, and the next move, because you always have to be on top of that next move. What would that thing? What would it look like when it goes awry? And if you were part of that process of that when it goes awry, what would be your next move if you were part of that malfunction? Okay, if you were part of that. You have a corporation, you are the creator of that corporation, and you are the creator and the CEO and the president and everything, and then you start bringing in people that you feel are going to do a great job for you, and they didn't like something you said, they didn't like one of the rules or regulations that you put up, and now they're going to create. They're going to do a mutiny and create their own corporation with their own set of rules and their own ways of thinking and their own philosophies and their own, business plan. And they're going to take everyone that is part of your corporation, they're going to recruit them into the other corporation. Okay? Well, you as a creator of that corporation should anticipate all these things. And you should know, well, now these people are going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to do this, and you should have a backup plan of what to do. So, it's no different in when in these realms of light, when you have a plan or a creation, a world that you're creating that goes awry, it's the same thing. So we anticipate that the beings of the sinister side, the dark side, the sinister side, will create all kinds of havoc and things to confuse the light workers, the light beings, the beings that are here to hold the light, to help change things around. They will do that. That is part of the schematics, part of what is anticipated. Doesn't surprise me one bit, not one bit. And honestly, when something like that happens, where there is a change like that, I welcome it, because I certainly don't want to be in the energy or the frequencies of those that are holding on to patterns that are of a lesser vibration. So the whole point, again, going back into this again, is stating that ascended masters are not part of the fallen. That is just a disinformation campaign. They're not claiming to be our saviors. They don't want to be our saviors. They don't want to be worshipped. They are in equanimity, not in polarity. You cannot be in polarity and achieve ascension. Okay, the fact that they're ascended. It proves that the fact that they're not in polarity. The ones that are in polarity are we, the ones that are claiming that they are in polarity and thinking that they are representing the light, and then the darkness, the Satanists and the reptilians and whatever you want to call them, putting them those in that basket, that those represent the dark, and it can't be further from the truth. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of the truther movement is stating that we're all, of course, the way we're going to ascend or we'll get out, the transformation looks like, is that we're all going to 0 point. We're all going to this unification to the bosom of the Prime Creator, when in reality everything is a stepping, a graduation towards that. We're not there yet. The Ascended Masters are not there yet themselves. We're all evolving, spiraling up towards that as the prime, or as the prize, the grand prize. But it's baby steps getting there. And for us to even be that arrogant to think that when whatever happens, whatever the event is that would cause us to transcend, to transform, to ascend to the next level, for us to think that we're going directly to 0 point, to that point where we're all one with, Prime Creator, is going to be very disappointed. Because if we are currently in 3D right now, and we can't even manage our world, we can't manage the world that we live in because it's just so out of control, number one. But not only can we not manage our world and the exterior with all the conflicts that are going around the world and things like that, we can't manage that. We can't even manage our own lives. We can't manage the conflict and the drama in our own lives. We can't manage handling the flu. All right? So for us to even be arrogant to think that when whatever event happens, that we're going to automatically be grandfathered into a state of being where we're just one with all and all with, even though that is indeed the case, because we do come from that original spark of the divine, but that's not the format that we're in now. Okay, there is a formula that has been set in place, and everything follows that formula. Not your formula, the formula of the divine creator, of the original blueprint of Prime Creator, that formula. And it has a specific way of it reaching back to itself. And it's not via our being arrogant, number one, for us being in constant conflict with one another as a species, let alone as a certain sector of the divine, which is the light worker / spiritual community, to be in constant conflict with one another. That is just evidence that is not the way it's going to occur. And to discard beings that have attained that liberation and have evolved from that drama and have been able to take care of their own world, to actually have control over their own world, control over their own health, control over their own life and death cycle. To discard that is allowing you to buy into the propaganda given to you by the those forces that want to keep you here. And therefore, they've done a great marketing plan. I must take my hat off to them. They are that skilled that I applaud them for being so successful at compromising our light forces, because they indeed are doing a magnificent job just by the mere fact that they've compromised us and that we're allowing it. And that we don't even see it when it's happening right under our noses. And that we're feeding it. We're actually feeding it. It's like they market it to us, we embraced it, and now we're doing the marketing for them as well and doing the work for them as well. Isn't that a kicker? So to get to that oneness that we all think we're going to go into, folks, it takes a lot of work, takes a lot of dedication, takes a lot of humility, takes a lot of going into that silence, and sometimes to go there you need to be alone and separate yourselves from the drama, separate yourselves from those giving you ill advice, separate yourselves from groups and gossip and chat rooms and things like that. Sometimes it takes being with yourself, sitting with yourself, and being honest with yourself and seeing what's in your heart and seeing what's the true reason why you're seeing things a certain way, why you're allowing yourself to get influenced by information that is truly not the truth. And if you don't do that, you are running the high risk of being taken in by a set of understandings that are not serving you and not allowing you to move forward, to grow, to expand your consciousness, to expand your awareness, or even expand your heart. And that's pretty sad to me. I also wanted to address with you the fact that, compassion is very, very important, and I've recently was able to acquire compassion that I didn't have before. I had some compassion for things, and I didn't have it for other things, and compassion is not selective, neither is love. Love is not selective. Therefore, why I always say that the concept of love is one thing, and truly embracing everything with love is another thing. Because compassion and love are not selective. They are not. It's just, again, the creator, the prime creator, is not selective with love. It's just it loves everything and everyone in all its creation, and has compassion for all the creation. It's just the way it is. So to be selective already puts you in the fact that you're not compassionate. If you're selective with love, means you're really not loving. But I want to make a distinction between being in a state of compassion and being apathetic and being in a state of non-action. Because me personally, if I see something that is wrong, or something that that is not in alignment with the higher truths, or that I see something that is sinister, and that intrinsically it's sinister, intrinsically it's not, again, in alignment, and I notice it, I will personally take action. It doesn't mean I'm not compassionate. It doesn't mean I'm not a compassionate person. And if I have to take action, I will do it in a way that will be as compassionate as I can possibly be in a certain situation. Unfortunately, the ones that are at the brunt on the other side of getting a correction or being confronted with such, being called out on such actions that I feel are not in alignment, do not feel the same way, and they will see it through their lenses, which of course those lenses are made up of filters that have been created or put in place via all their experiences, via the school of hard knocks, and therefore many times their judgment is skewed and jaded, and therefore will not understand the reason why certain things were brought out, or certain actions were having to take place. So unfortunately, for those that have to be corrected in that manner by me or by you, just understand that there will be a lot of resistance because of that. But it is our job, really, to not just stand around and not correct something that is not in alignment with the higher truths in a higher vibration and for the best of all. So being compassionate is not, don't fall for the line that will be thrown at you, that you're not being compassionate because you had to take action, or that you're not loving because you had to take action, okay? Or that you're not being a being of light, that you're not representing the light. These are all lines that are being thrown at you to get you off your center, to get you to doubt yourselves, to get you to think that you're really representing the dark forces when you're not. These are all parts of the tricks that the sinister forces use to discredit the discernment abilities and the correction abilities of the light workers. They use tricks like, for example, they'll say, they'll get you angry, let's say, okay? The sinister force will use an individual and get them all worked up, so they're angry, and now they're coming at you with anger, calling you whatever, trying to create a confrontation with you. And so they'll do that, and then their whole point is that, you need to get it, if you get angry, then you're not being of the light. Okay, so they provoke you, and then they won't, if you get angry or if you take action, then you're not being of the light. The same thing as they're going to, rape, or let's say they're going to abuse, your child. You find out that your child is being abused by a pedophile in school. Okay, so you can't do anything about it, because if you do something about it, you're not really being of the light. You're supposed to be in compassion. You're supposed to be forgiving. You're supposed to look the other way and turn the other cheek, and be in a state of complacency and in peace and that type of thing. So they turn around and use the attributes that the light has, or that the beings of light carry, as a way to get away with doing atrocities. All right? So that means that if you get upset, that if you retaliate, that if you seek justice, if you get angry, and if you do all these things, then you're not a light being, so therefore you're part of them. Tell me that isn't the most clever thing in the world. And that's why I'm telling you, I just take my hat off to these little suckers, to use the word suckers as opposed to the F word right now. I'm not in the mood to use the F word today. And you know that I will use that F word when I deem it necessary. They're very clever. They're just very good at what they do. And they're masters of this world. And that's, if you look at marketing and business, that's exactly how marketing is done. That's exactly how, these spin doctors use it in politics. It's all a lie, within the lie of deception. And so I'm just saying that when you see injustice, when you see something that is not in alignment to the light, okay, we have to step up. We have to take action, okay? Regardless of what it costs us, okay? And I'm talking about, you've got to be willing to understand that there will be repercussions, and you've got to be courageous enough to take those blows, to take those hits, because you know what? It's all an illusion anyway. It's all based on their rules and regulations anyway. And if you're going to get upset at the fact that you're going to get the brunt of it, that you're not going to be popular, that you're going to lose popularity, you're going to lose members, you're going to lose an audience, you're going to lose family, you're going to lose relationships, then you're buying into the world that is the world that they're governing over, which is the Matrix. It's all an illusion, okay? In reality, the only friend that you really need is really yourself. And I personally, happen to have a whole team of them that are of a much higher caliber. They're all in higher vibration, and they're all not even embodied in this shithole. Okay, so I just rather hang out and have a beer with them as opposed to all of the ones that are here pretending to be of the light and actually serving the dark by just their mere behaviors. Just look at the behavior. If you look at the behavior, you will see that in reality, what is governing them and what they think is the light is really truly the sinister forces. and I just don't want to participate in that anymore. So when I call it out, and I'm willing to take action on something, I'm also willing to take whatever happens along with that, what the ramification of that is, whatever that looks like, I'm willing to take it. Because whatever that is all part of the fallen world anyway, and I don't want it in my life to begin with. And that's where I stand with that. It has nothing to do with me being compassionate or not. It has nothing to do with me being loving or not. That's what they want me to think. That's how they want me to react, by thinking, oh my gosh, do I do this? If I call it out, if I say this, if I bring it out, if I stop it, if I, whatever, I'm not being loving, I'm not being kind, I'm not being of the light, that's BS. Because if that was the case, then Jesus would not have gone to the temple and overturned all those tables like he did. It didn't stop him from being loving. That action didn't stop him from being compassionate and from being in Christ consciousness. As a matter of fact, being in Christ consciousness, he had to do that. So that's what that is. I'm asking you to all step into your power and authority, and when you see something that is not in alignment with the divine, that you step forth and muster all that courage and strength and correct it. Speak up. Take action. Regardless of what it costs you. Regardless. Because we're not of this world anyway. And I also wanted to address with you the fact that many of us who do gravitate with this message, and many won't, because you're so stuck in this reality and in the disinformation campaign given by the other side that you can't see, up or down, or, you're just so entrenched in it. And I feel so sorry for you all, honestly. Whatever that means. But those of you who do see this and who understand the message today, I want to address something further with you. And that is that, there's always as above, so, as above, so below, as within, so without. We're all fractals, or it's all a replica of the divine. And we all, just like there are special tactical forces in the armed forces of this planet, of this reality that we live in at this moment, that we're experiencing at this moment, that those particular special tactical forces are usually an elite team of commanders and soldiers that are specifically selected within the armed forces of this planet, regardless of what country we're from. More than likely, if we have armed forces, there are special forces within those armed forces that do very, very specialized work within the armed forces. And those that are in those select groups are, again, selected specifically for their demeanor, for certain knowledge that they possess, certain skills that they possess. And on top of that, they go through special training to be able to be in those tactical forces. They have certain type of preparation that has to be done. They are very carefully selected. They have to go through extensive training, special, and basically all that is done to do certain special missions. And these missions are usually covert, usually. When these missions occur, if they go, for example, to another country, they'll come in usually disguised to be part of, to blend in with the natives. So some of them have they're fluent in that language of whatever country they're going into. They usually look like them, or they dress like them. They gesture like the natives of that country. They carry that demeanor of the natives of the country, so they blend in perfectly, right? And most of them are given enough information about their assignment, all right, just to get them to be able to carry out that assignment, and they're given nothing more. In other words, they're not given any more information than is necessary, just enough for them to be able to carry forth the assignment and get out. And the reason that is necessary is because they don't want, the generals and the heads of the commanders of these missions. They don't want to compromise the mission in case these special forces, tactical forces, get taken by the other side. So they don't want them to, under duress, under torture or whatever, they don't want them to be able to divulge, information that would compromise the whole mission. So with that in mind, the same holds true with those of us that have come into this world with a certain mission, whatever that mission is for you. We come in, first of all, we're highly skilled to begin with before we are even selected. And then depending on the mission, those with certain skill sets are sought out. Let's say they're recruited, and only with the highest skill sets are selected. And so we come in, right, and we're going to come into certain areas, all right, certain families, certain areas of the planet, so certain races, maybe certain geographic areas. So we're going to be wearing our skin suits to emulate those natives. But we will carry enough information in our memory bank to carry us forward to the next phase in our life. And once we reach that, then another set of information is revealed via the veil perhaps being removed, one layer. And, now we remember a certain thing, so it'll point us in this direction now. And every time that happens, we get closer and closer to being fully actualized in our mission and fully remembering who we are. But until we get to that point, we're completely... our information and all the instructions are hidden even from us, in case we get taken over or compromised by the sinister forces. And there are a lot of us that carry a certain code, a certain mission that is identical for all of us. In other words, we have submissions, little missions to get to, little hurdles that we have to go through, and things that we must achieve, okay, in terms of missions within missions within missions. But the overall mission for many of us, not all of us, many of us, is one big one, okay? And a lot of people have called that, those elite forces, the 144,000. They have a very, very specific mission to accomplish together. Because a lot of us have already done our mini missions, and we've done that individually. But now, as a collective, we're going to be activated to fully step into our power and authority collectively as part of the overall, shall we say, Navy SEALs of the forces that we represent, of the light supreme creator that we represent. And we are being activated right now as we speak. a lot of us are still compromised, where because of implants and because of really just even, not only implants, but a lot of us have, been compromised via reptilian abductions and things like that. But there's many of us that are right now recognizing this and having these things taken care of, removal of these things, the removal of whatever blockages preventing us from going to that next phase, which is the final phase of our mission and the one that is going to lead us all to victory. So a lot of us who are hearing this message that recognize this to be true have already taken that step and have gone for implant removals and things like that. And because we already know that we are in that phase and we're all moving into that power and authority that is given to us once we are, removed from all obstacles, which is what was keeping us here, which is, of course, those implants and blockages and etheric, sinister forces that are keeping us here. Once we're free from that, we are totally powerful, folks. And so I'm calling you all forth. I'm calling you all forth right now because we need to recognize who we are. I know a lot of us have felt probably in our hearts since we were very young, and we even heard of the term the 144,000. We totally resonated and gravitated towards that because we recognize that to be true. But we probably had that as, a fantasy. Maybe it's mythology, something that sounds great. But in reality, we knew in our heart, of hearts, that we had something to do with that. And so I'm calling you all forth that if you feel that you are part of the 144,000 special tactical forces, the elite team commandos of the light forces on this planet, I invite you all to be part of the website called 2012emergence.com, as I want to be able to have a platform where the 144,000 commandos and special tactical forces that are here on the planet now can be together, can be functioning as the group that is here to help the transformation of this planet. I would love for us to fraternize together, to be able to share our life stories, to be able to share information that will edify us, that will get us stronger, that will allow us to step finally into our authority and our power, so that we can finally come out on the other side victorious. I strongly ask you to please take this invitation. Let's join forces. Let's join experiences. Let's join our strengths and our courage, and let's get this done. I strongly feel that it's time that we bring all our energies and light, that we bring it together to join and create that light to such a point that the dark has to dispel. It has to transmute. It has no choice but to do that. And what a great way to do that, but to be in one place together, in true camaraderie, in true brotherhood and sisterhood. Let's get the job done. Let's be together. Let's empower one another and move on to the new world, the new creation, the new higher vibrational earth that we will just form together as co-creators that we are. Again, the website is 2012emergence.com. And I ask that if you know anyone that is part of the Special Tactical Forces / the 144,000 that are here on the planet, please let this recording, this radio show, let them hear it. Point them to the website let's get this thing cranking, and let's just make that change now. It's in our hands. It's always been in our hands. We just needed to recognize who we are. And we have a lot of different programs also that, especially in other shows that I've had about the implant removal, that I strongly recommend all of you who have not heard that yet to please listen to that. It's with Alexandra Metters, another one that I did with Alexandra Metters and Stephen Metters. I strongly suggest you listen to that because it will resonate with you, and you will understand how important it is to be freed from all implants and to finally step into your power and authority. God bless you all. You've been listening to Ari Kopel, Shattering the Matrix. I will be on and off as I am in the process of processing a lot of things that are happening in my life which are actually all positive. Moving forward to bring positive wonderful light onto the planet, and inviting you all to participate in that with me. Again, thank you so much for listening to this broadcast. Sending you all my love and appreciation. Good night.